Hi, how are you? This is Marty Macisso with MartyMyRealtor.com. I'm coming with a little short sale blog, and what I'm talking about today is a recent kind of FTC ruling. The Federal Trade Commission has passed down some very important new rules, and they call it the Mortgage Assistance Relief Services Act, which took effect the first of the year, actually the 1st of February. Basically, in short, it's MARS. And what MARS means is there are a new set of disclosures that need to be presented to all sellers involved in a short sale transaction or a loan modification. And mainly this came about because there are many loan modification scams and even short sale scams to where sellers were being charged out-of-pocket fees up front and then getting kind of screwed over. So essentially, the primary effect of this new ruling in law is that you cannot be charged an out-of-pocket fee for short sales, any kind of loss mitigation. So this really affects those companies that were, doing that, and which is unethical anyway. So this is really a good thing. Now, the consumer yourself are going to be getting more disclosure on how this affects you. At any point in time, you will be presented disclosures that will say at any time if you feel that this process or this transaction will not help you in the long run or you don't feel comfortable with it, either you have to bring money to the closing table or a promissory note, you can decide not to complete the transaction. So you have the right to withdraw that. That's part of it. Disclosure, those disclosures need to be made to you early in the process so you know that you will be or could be material affected. You will never pay any out-of-pocket fees. All the commissions and compensation involved to the professionals like myself come from the net proceeds of the transaction, the short sale, allowed by your lender, the lien holder. And the only real time you may be subject to bringing any funds into the transaction are the lawful closing costs that are allowed by state law, which are, transfer taxes, title expenses like deed prep and wiring fees, things like that. I try very hard, and I'm always very successful at getting those expenses included in the transaction. 9 out of 10 times, the sellers do not have to bring any money to closing, which is great. And a lot of times, through certain programs like HAFA, we can actually get money back to the seller at closing. Not easy to do, but we can do it if everybody's patient. So really, those are the new required disclosures. Also, it's a notice of material difference disclosure must be presented to you as well. Meaning, if you get a short sale approval, we need to disclose how that may either adversely affect you or may not. For instance, if you get a short sale approval, but yet the lender is retaining the right to pursue you, it usually says we may or may not, depending on your state law, pursue you for a deficiency judgment, meaning the amount, if you sold your house for $150 but you owe $250, there's a $100,000 deficiency judgment. The lender may reserve the right to pursue you for that. That needs to be disclosed to you so you don't go to closing and sign the papers. Next thing you know, a year later you get a lawsuit. So, those you should know about that. That may or may not happen. Typically, when you do negotiate and settle a short sale, lenders are typically charging off the balance and issuing a 1099, and that means because in the olden days, debt forgiven, that deficiency, was considered income. So you get a 1099, but now because of the Mortgage Debt Relief Forgiveness Act of 2007, that is no longer the case. You're not taxed on that. It's not income. What it does mean, though, is there's also no deficiency judgment, because you can either, as a lender, it's either one or the other. You either don't charge the debt off and issue 1099, or you reserve the right to pursue for the deficiency. So shoot me an email, give me a call. I'd be happy to answer any questions to clarify that. It's kind of technical. But in short, you as the consumer, this is good for you. There are disclosures that need to be made, and you need to work with realtors who are upfront and at every juncture in the process. So personally, I've always been that way. It's the way I do business. Ask anybody who I've helped out in a short sale. All right, that's all I have to say. Marty Macisso, MartyMaRealtor.com, signing off. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.